I have an affinity for Scandinavian things. Helly Hansen, Roxette, the Norwegian Pavilion at Epcot, to name just a few. So it's nice to see an all-new Volvo emerging. Definitely a car company on the rise. And it's led by a stunningly beautiful, fresh take on the three-row SUV. This is the all-new 2016 XC90.
The previous generation XC90 lingered for an unheard of 12 model years without a complete redesign. But lo and behold, our patience has been rewarded with the most groundbreaking vehicle the Swedish-based automaker has ever built in its nearly 90-year history. Volvo has had plenty of time to sweat the details, and it shows. Fundamentally, this XC90 serves the same purpose as the one before, a sport utility capable of transporting 5 to 7. But that's just about where the parallels end. It starts with a design of elegance and strength befitting its Scandinavian roots. This R-Design trim is for those who seek a sportier, dynamic, and expressive experience with increased visual appeal and enhanced attitude. Furthering the eye candy is this choice of bursting blue metallic extra charge paint and the optional 22-inch wheels. The R-Design treatment costs $4,000 and bundles 16 unique, mostly aesthetic features, including active bending LED headlights, a front spoiler, special grille, and contoured front buckets with suede inserts that preserve Volvo's reputation as having the best seats in the biz. The attention to detail is exquisite, with small Swedish flags sewn into the seats, and even a nod to Volvo's pioneering of the 3-point safety belt. Sure, there's an inscription model if you'd rather a more buttoned-up luxury experience, but for me, this R-Design look elevates the XC90 to legendary status.
This is a fully loaded T6 R-Design, more powerful than the T5 and without the plug of the T8. And it's unlike any Volvo to come before it. Absolutely nothing in here resembles any previous Volvo I've driven. It's a clean sheet redesign in the truest form of the word, exuding a sense of luxury that'll have you seeing Jaguar.
There is a palpable aura of plushness in here that goes beyond where Volvo has ever been. The start knob is distinctive. The infotainment screen is tablet-like, and there are semi-autonomous and cutting-edge safety features in spades. To minimize clutter, just about everything is controlled through the Sensus interface. One beef I have is in the slowness of system startup. When I get into a car, I just want to start the engine and go. But here, you've got to wait several moments to make adjustments to the temp, radio, and heated seats, and also allow time for the backup cam to start. It's not all that intuitive, and because it contains so much information, some of it is difficult to find. But it looks cool, incorporates Apple CarPlay, and acts as the conduit for the heavenly-sounding 19-speaker Bowers & Wilkins sound system, a $2,650 option worth every penny to audiophiles. Android Auto will be introduced at a later date.
Forcing more air into an engine is one way to develop more power, and Volvo takes the unique approach of adding both a turbo and supercharger to accomplish it. The resulting sounds are nothing spectacular, but the power is darn impressive, particularly when you scroll over to dynamic mode. The four-corner air suspension does a great job of keeping these huge 22-inch tires in check, so the ride quality is taut but forgiving. And though there are true performance SUVs that do better impressions of sports cars, the XC90's drivability is so well balanced that only the hardcore will want more.
This is 316 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque out of a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. The supercharger acts first in low to medium speeds for instantaneous power, and the turbo takes over thereafter. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and when launched from a standstill, full all-wheel drive is engaged, taking you from 0 to 60 in a brisk 6.1 seconds, as quick as a 6-cylinder powered BMW X5. And at a spelt 4,627 pounds, it's more fuel efficient than all of its German rivals, rated at 22 mpg in combined driving on premium gas with a standard stop-start system. Cabin noise is minimal, and rear seat passengers are treated to a generously sized second row that slides and reclines, replete with their own climate controls and heated seats. No USB ports, however, but the huge panoramic roof is a window to the world above. This built-in booster seat is a clever $250 option. The third row is kids' fodder, but easily accessible from either side. When it's time for stuff instead of people, the hands-free tailgate opens to a large cargo area. These seats manually fold flat, but an electronic switch would be welcome for at the very least getting them back up. The air springs come into play when loading, capable of dropping the rear to ease strain, and 2 built-in cargo management features add to the cleverness. These pricey Pirellis are for summer use only, but with an off-road mode, a bit of trail driving was in order, where at speeds below 25 miles per hour, the body is jacked up by over 1.5 inches, the differentials are locked, and the powertrain is optimized for traction. Over 9 inches of ground clearance gives the XC90 a very confident swagger off-road. And when it's time to call upon dynamic mode, the XC90 feels light and tight, with perfectly weighted steering, deft handling, and a heightened sense of immediacy. There are more camera and radar safety features here than I have time to delve into, and many of them impossible for me to truly test, such as world firsts like avoiding collisions at intersections and runoff road protection technology. But the ones I could experience were met with mixed results. The parallel and perpendicular parking assistant takes time to access and then doesn't always get you squarely into the spot. And the pilot assist function, which takes the drudgery out of stop-and-go traffic, has a lot of prerequisites that need to be met before it'll work. However, the 360-degree camera is an awesome assistant by itself, and the head-up display with traffic sign information is welcome. Fully dressed, this XC90 stickers for $67,455 from a starting price of $50,795. A front-drive, 5-passenger T5 base model and a high-end T8 plug-in hybrid are also available. If this points to Volvo's future, it's going to be one heck of a joyride. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammis.